Okay, here's another corporate finance model, and this one I haven't looked at for a while, and I'm a little bit afraid of it. I put so many graphs in here, and I kind of mess up. So this was in this example, this was from a port where we had a cargo forecast, and we had a revenue forecast from their toll bridge, and we had some assumptions for different kind of cargoes. I guess each one of these you could just a little macro that goes to the sheet. That's nothing. Okay, and then you could show or hide the graphs. That's just a gimmick. And then here all the sheets. We had so many because we had this. Now as you can see, they had a projection of the revenues really increasing. That's what we worried about. And even though the revenues were increasing, it caused some negative cash flows. So,
Okay, and so this is the summary page. If you would click on a different scenario, you could see how much the debt changes and how much the revenue changes. And then the next page, you could see what happens to the debt to EBITDA, which goes way up because they have to do borrowing for a whole lot of these capex that are supposed to increase the revenues. Now, there's also a project finance model for a toll road in here, but on the scenarios, this time you make a lot more careful analysis and you do the whole scenarios of the competitors and the whole industry, and that's really where you start. Same with some other part, of the assumptions. And when you go to this one, you also want to see just how much overbuilding of capacity there is in the industry. So this is just an example of a more realistic model with all sorts of detailed assumptions. And then, let's see, we have some corporate finance assumptions. We put them all together, and some general economic assumptions. Then you can make your forecast of how much cargo they're going to get, how much vehicles they're going to get on the tollway. You make a project finance model, and there are too many pages. I think this is way too big, but you could make then summarize all the capital expenditures, make absolutely sure you
Hello there.
Okay, where were we? I think I have a model verification, and then we have some history next to the forecast, just like everything else, except this time you go into details and put the history of all of the different components together, and put the industry history, and then try to make a forecast of the volumes compared to them, and look at the market shares and everything else. Then you can put your historic financials together, and finally they're just a whole bunch of graphs. But this is the kind of thing to worry about. Let me see, there's some growth, and here's some forecast that other people were making, and I think there's some market share for history. I hope I made some market share history and forecast, and this is the one to really worry about, because this is the capacity of the 3 ports, and this is the forecast of demand, and you have all this surplus capacity, and what's going to happen to prices, what's going to happen to obviously the utilization will be much less than the capacity. So those are the kind of things to really worry about in a model. Compare the capacity to demand. Of course, you can't make perfect forecasts of the industry capacity, but I think that's enough of this model. It's too big, and it's got too much stuff, but you really can, it demonstrates you really want to start with the industry.